Today, I'm going to be starting about mobile apps development from the NDV Texas solutions. And myself, I'm Srinivas Rao Kurantla, and I've been working from last 16 plus years. So I was a web and mobile apps architect and AI certified professional. And here we are trying to understanding about the mobile apps nowadays. Industry mobile app developers, mobile apps are actually very crazy. At the same time, mobile app developers also very crazy. Means for each and every organization, they are going to be having one mobile app. Even smartphone era is obviously very good actually. So in the good internet connection, everybody 99% people are using smartphones nowadays, and everybody is going to be this mobile is something like a part of the human life nowadays. Smartphone is a part of the human life, even for educated people or educated people, everyone. Okay, so an app which is going to be installing into the smartphone. So we are trying to developing end-to-end application that is going to be utilizing by the user. Here, a mobile application is an app in a computer program or a software application designed and run in the mobile device. So you have to install that application in the mobile device. See, whenever you are purchasing a smartphone, when you are going for shop and asking for a smartphone like iPhone, when you are purchasing iPhone, by default, some predefined applications by the device. So by the company, some applications are there. So those are the predefined applications. Some camera is there, some calculator is there, some contacts is there, call application, some notes application. Some applications are defined applications by the company, by the manufacturer, whoever it is, but or operating system. But some other applications, if you want, you need to download from the internet connection. Suppose whenever you are purchasing the phone, you are trying to communicating with the Play Store or App Store. For example, iOS users are connecting to the App Store, and Android users are connecting with the Play Store, and they are trying to downloading. They are trying to downloading application related to that. For example, if I want to download a social media applications like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram into my mobile, or if I want to download, there are a lot of shopping applications. For example, I'm a foodie, so I want to install different kind of food related applications. Okay, so for example, I want to do shopping. There are multiple kind of shopping applications like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra. Okay, Zudio, kind of applications. Okay, in that way, so people are trying to downloading a lot of applications in the smartphones. Okay, so who is developing these applications? Yes, a mobile app developer is going to be developing these applications and publishing into the particular app store or play store. Coming to the tools, what are the different kind of tools which are going to be available in the market? So this subject is not that much easy subject. Why? Because of mobile app development is having in the multiple phases and multiple forms. For example, olden days, like 10 years before, 10 years before, there are multiple kind of operating systems which are going to be available in the market. iOS is there, Android is there, BlackBerry is there, Symbian OS is there, Windows operating system is there. That time there are a lot of mobile smartphone operating systems are available. But nowadays, in 2025, 2024, 2025, and we are having most popular operating system in mobile is only iOS and Android. One more time, iOS and Android. iOS actually a platform dependent operating system that is only from Apple. That devices, iOS devices, only manufactured by the Apple company. So no other company is going to be giving this operating system related phones. Okay, that is a completely platform dependent software. iOS is the platform dependent software, and that software only available in the Apple devices, only from Apple Inc. company. I will show later. Okay, and one more thing, Android. Android is basically open source operating system. and there are number of companies which are going to be releasing this Android related mobiles, like Samsung is releasing, Realme is releasing, and Nexus releasing, OnePlus is releasing, and Oppo is releasing, and there are a lot of LG and Onida. See, there are a number of companies are going to be releasing the Android operating system related mobiles. Why? Because Android is open source. Come to the tools. First of all, here, sir, if you want to develop iOS related application for particularly App Store, or if you want to develop Android related application, particularly for the Play Store, then what are the programming languages I need to learn, and what are the tools I need to understand? So specifically, who is eligible to develop this mobile application? For example, only MTech people, or only BTech people, or only BSc people, or only MBA people. There is something like a specification. There is no particular specification, or there is no particular qualification to develop this mobile app. Even small kids in the US and UK, small kids, 7 years, 8 years people, 7 years, 8 years kids also developing mobile app. You know about it? Can you go on YouTube and search about the mobile app developers in the small age? Then you can able to see lot of people, small kids are developing mobile apps. Even in India also there are multiple developers are available. They are developing little different kind of games, different kind of applications for the smartphones. Okay, so later we will elaborate all these things. Come to the point. There are some tools. So for example, if you want to develop an application particularly or only for iOS, only for iOS, if you want to develop some application, that application is called actually native application. Okay, so I come to the point later. What is native, what is this hybrid mode, and what is this cross domain application, all these things. Okay, but nowadays native at the same time hybrid applications both are very famous. So come to the point. So here, just observe this definition. When it comes to the mobile application, the two most famous operating system that comes to our mind, that is, one is Android and one is Google, and Android by Google and iOS by Apple. Yeah. App development requires requirement analysis, design, planning, development phase, testing, deployment of the app. To develop these apps, we need a mobile app development platform that we can able to go with a native hybrid cross platform as well as web app also. Okay, so we will try to elaborate all these things later. Come to the point. React Native. What React Native is? React Native apps for Android, iOS, and then more using with the React. First of all, you should know React library. React is the library which was developed based on JavaScript. React is the JavaScript related library. Okay, if you want to learn JavaScript, that is completely related to the web actually. So JavaScript is the famous programming nowadays. If you want to learn JavaScript, first of all HTML, CSS fundamentals required. Then after one programming language called JavaScript, these fundamentals are required to understand the React. If you want to learn React Native, definitely you should be having a good knowledge in React. Okay, anyway, we are going to be dealing with the React first of all before coming to the React Native. Yeah, React Native brings the best parts of the development, and the React Native development its best in-class JavaScript library, building the user interfaces at the same time. So there is one simple mantra for the React Native. That mantra is develop once, build for multiple platforms. Develop once, deploy for multiple, or develop once, deploy to many. Write once, deploy to many. Write once, one time code you are writing, that code is going to be deploying for the multiple platforms at the same time. That is actually called React Native. And one more thing is called Flutter. Flutter is Google's one basically. Flutter transforms the development process, build, test, and deploy beautiful mobile, web, desktop, and embedded experiences from a single code base called Flutter. Flutter is very famous, and these two are competitors, React Native and Flutter. React Native actually developed by the Facebook, and Flutter developed by Google. These two companies, Facebook and Google, obviously are competitors according to the mobile app development nowadays, even in the social media also. Okay, so Google is having a YouTube and some other things, Gmail kind of things, but this Facebook is going to be having Instagram, Facebook, all these things. Okay, even WhatsApp also there. Okay, come to the point. So let's try to understand what is this mobile app development, all these things, theoretically. First of all, mobile apps. There are two kind of mobile apps. There are two kinds. Okay, an application. Let me go. An application which is going to be installed in mobile or smart mobile is called mobile app. Okay, an application which is going to be installed in mobile or smartphone is called a mobile app. Okay, how to develop this mobile app? Okay, there are two phases. The first phase is native development, second phase is hybrid development. First phase is native development, second phase is hybrid development. Okay, so the first phase, native development. What is the concept of native development? Develop once, deploy to one deploy to one platform. Develop once, deploy to one platform. And here, this is develop once, deploy to many platforms. Develop once, deploy to one platform. Develop once, deploy to many platforms is called hybrid. Okay, for native development, there are two things. For example, if I want to develop iOS app, definitely I need to go for the Mac operating system, and definitely I need to use the Xcode software inside the Mac operating system, using by the Swift UI. So nowadays the latest programming is Swift UI. But in olden days, basically there is a programming language called Objective C. This is the earlier days. Earlier days Objective C is there. Later Swift is there, and nowadays Swift UI is the very famous programming language for iOS apps development. And I'm talking about native. I'm talking about native. Remember it. And I'm talking about the one more native, Android OS. Android OS app. iOS app is different, Android app is different. Let me go. Okay. So this is iOS app, this is Android app. Okay. For iOS app, these are the things. For Android app, yeah, Android app, you can go for Mac operating system, you can go for Linux, you can go for Windows, anywhere you can go. That is not an issue. And you need to go with the software called Android Studio is the software. You have to install Android Studio, and there are two programming languages which are going to be supporting for Android development. That is Java and Kotlin. You can you can write a programming like Java, or you can write a programming like Kotlin. Kotlin basically from Google. Java is basically Sun Microsystems. Okay, these two programming languages you can use for Android app development. And then one more thing, I am talking about native development. I am talking about only native development till now so far. Let's go for the hybrid development. Hybrid development, there are multiple things. The one is React Native. I already told you React Native. So from the React Native, this is the programming, a prerequisite for the React Native React. And here you can able to deploy the app for iOS and Android both. iOS and Android both. So I already told one concept to develop once, deploy to many platforms. Develop once, okay, single code. Okay, let me write one more point here. Single code for iOS and Android OS. Single code, only one code for iOS and Android OS. But this native not like that. Single code or single code or code one platform, one platform. Okay, so code one platform. That is what actually here, and here the single code for multiple platforms. Here one platform, just like one platform. Here I can say multiple platforms, multiple platforms. Right. There is a one thing called the React Native. So when you are working with the React Native, Native have React Native actually developed by Facebook. This company is Facebook. Okay, so this particular library is going to be working for single code. That code is going to be deployed for both platforms, iOS and Android at the same time. At the same time, there is a one more platform like Flutter. It is very famous nowadays, called Flutter. Just I'm just writing very clear, Flutter from Google, and Dart is the programming language here. Dart, not Java, not Kotlin. Dart is the programming. Dart programming you have to go, and this is again for iOS and Android both. But for both platforms, you can able to deploy the application. For both platforms, you can able to deploy the application. So let me show diagrammatically how this mobile app development will be. Very clear, I will tell you. Very clear, I will tell you. In the case of mobile app development, architecture wise. For example, if I want to become a mobile app developer, end-to-end mobile app developer, I'm talking about end-to-end mobile app developer. If you want to become expert in mobile apps, okay, I'm talking about the one more time, mobile apps. Okay, so there are two kind of mobile apps, right? End-to-end mobile app development, if you want to learn. Okay, so there are two categories, right? So I already told you mobile apps development have two categories. One is a native development, one is the hybrid development. So one is the native development, very clear, and one is the hybrid development. And there is a one more development also there, that is cross platform development. Later we will discuss about it. This is the native, and one more is hybrid. These two enough now. Hybrid. Not only this, there is a one more thing called a cross platform. Okay, so come to the native. In the part of the native, we will be having one thing called iOS and one thing called Android. So specific development, iOS and Android. In native, you will be having iOS and Android. The one thing is iOS, and one thing is Android OS. One thing is iOS and Android OS. For iOS, what is the programming language? I already told you. Programming language nowadays Swift UI is the latest programming for iOS. For Android OS, nowadays the latest programming is Java or Kotlin. You can use both. And come to the hybrid. Hybrid, I already told you there are multiple platforms in hybrid. The one is React Native, the one is Flutter. The one is React Native, and another one is Flutter. Okay, so the one is React Native. Let me talk about it. And one more thing is Flutter. Okay, for React Native, the programming mandatory programming is for React Native. The mandatory programming everybody should learn is React. It's a JS based. And for Flutter, there is a programming called Dart. Dart. Dart programming. Dart programming. And coming to the cross platform, in the cross platform there are different other platforms also there. So let me list out all these different other platforms. Like Ionic is there. One is Ionic, one is Cordova, one is Sencha Touch, and one thing is PhoneGap. See, these are different other different kind of developments, mobile app developments. Okay, so you can develop a mobile app using with this Ionic, Cordova, Sensor Touch, Phone Gap also, and Python. Python have Kiwi framework. You will be use a Kiwi framework also to develop the mobile app. This is related to the Python, so you can develop the mobile app using with the Python also. That is a Kiwi based framework. So, but very famous in the market. Very famous in the market nowadays. Yeah, obviously native is good. People are actually looking for the native developers, obviously. So native developers always there. Companies are looking for the native developers, obviously there. But more and more requirements nowadays which are available in the hybrid platform. More and more requirements which are actually looking for hybrid platform. So coming to the one more important point, if the company looking for the hybrid development means the person at least should know one native platform. The person should know at least one native platform previously experienced. So this is my simple thing. I am actually looking into the Naukri or Monster or Glassdoor wherever you see, or LinkedIn wherever you see. So people are actually having the hybrid mobile app development or hybrid mobile app developer. So they are asking at least you should be familiar about iOS, or you should be familiar at least with one native platform. They are actually asking. Okay, so sometime based on your like directly you can able to select with the hybrid apps also. So better my intention is at least you should learn one native platform and one hybrid platform, at least one native, one hybrid platform, that is enough. Either you go for iOS React Native, or either you go for Android OS React Native, or you go for iOS Flutter or Android OS Flutter. That's it. So that is one combination. The combinations I'm actually drawing now. You can learn like this, or you can learn like this, or some people are actually like this. Android with React Native, or Android with the Flutter. Okay, the combination, any one of the combination is better to get a good job, high packages. So you know about it. Mobile app developers are having very good packages nowadays. Okay, so later we try to explore different kind of tools. Suppose for example, if I am going to be working for iOS, so what is the software I want to go for? So if you want to work for iOS, you need to install Xcode. I don't have Xcode install, I think. So later I will try to install the Xcode from here. Please open App Store. So this is available in App Store. Okay, we'll try to download the Xcode later. So maybe my Mac system is not supporting for the latest Xcode. Yeah, I can able to install Xcode now. I'm trying to downloading Xcode now. That is one thing. For hybrid mobile app development, you can able to go for the before that. I will show Android Studio also. This is Android Studio. Directly you can search Android Studio like this. So this is Android Studio where you can able to develop Android applications by downloading the Android Studio. So you can download Android Studio for Linux, Windows, Mac. For every operating system, this is available. This is the official IDE for Android app development now. Accelerates the productivity with Gemini and Android Studio, AI powered code companion, and where you can able to write the code in Java or Kotlin. I already told you, Java or Kotlin. You can go for any one of this. Okay, so you can check the documentation. Documentation is also there here. Okay, so mobile, introduction, navigation. Come to the essentials. Hello World, training courses. Kotlin for Android is there, yeah. And tutorials. When you go for tutorials, you can see some tutorials like this. So this is one website, okay. Or for iOS, developer.apple.com. Developer.apple.com. This is the official website for Apple developers. So who are actually developing something. Okay, so when you want to become an iOS developer, you need to learn Swift programming, Swift UI. So this is the official website for the iOS. You have to learn the programming from this, and where you can able to execute and deploy the applications with emulators. Now, So later we'll try to discuss about it. And one more thing, I want to tell you React Native. React Native is the platform I already told you. React Native is a cross-domain platform. Okay, coming to the down, create native apps for Android, iOS, more using with the React. So, for example, this is the Hello World application. This is the code, a simple code for the Hello World application. So, I can show some components here. Okay, let me show some components here. Let me show some scroll view here. So, scroll view code is available here. Okay, so I don't have device now. Okay, I can execute with a simple emulator now. Okay, I go with the iOS emulator here. Just go with the iOS emulator. This is the iOS emulator. Okay, so emulator is loading for execute this code. I want to execute this particular code. Okay, so some plain text view is loading here in the middle of the screen. Okay, open Expo, go open. Okay, some plain text is there. Let me remove the plain text here. I'm just removing the plain text. I'm just giving hello React Native. Hello React Native. I'm just trying to typing some text here. See, when you are writing some text, automatically updating. Can you see? Automatically updating. Okay, for example, I want to place one more text. Can you copy this text here and paste one more time? Paste one more time. Paste one more time. Paste one more time. This is already available in the scroll view. Okay, so if I'm going to be having the multiple times this particular text view, I can get the scroll obviously. I can get scroll obviously here. So you can scroll here. Can you touch here properly with your mouse? Properly with your mouse, this is scrollable. Okay, you can able to install this application with your device also. In device, you can go with the expo app, and you can able to directly test this application with your direct device. If you're iOS user, you can directly test this application. If you are Android user, you can directly test the application by the expo. Okay, so development is very simple here. So component writing is also very simple. There are multiple components which are going to be available here. You can go for button, you can go for flat list, you can go for images, you can go for image related assignment. There is some assignment here available. There is some different logos are available. Okay, I don't want this bottom image. Just remove this bottom image. Only two images. I don't want these two images also. I want only one image. Okay, the simple image now. Okay, this one image only I have now. That image is going to be loading now. That one image only I'm loading now. Very clear. This is what actually React Native is. Very clear. Simple documentation and simple thing. One more is Flutter. Flutter build apps for any screen. Flutter website. This is the Flutter website where you can able to work with the different kind of applications. So you can go for the development now. Learn Flutter. Learn Flutter. So right, come to this with code labs, YouTube videos, dedicated docs, and more. Find everything. Not okay. So become Flutter developer. Take your skills to the next level. Expand the Flutter knowledge. Beginner, intermediate, advanced. This is beginner level documentation you can get, intermediate level documentation you can get, advanced level documentation also you can get. So go to the docs here. So can you go to the docs? Inside the docs, if you want to learn Flutter, go to the widgets. Different kind of widgets are available. Go to the code labs. Go to the demos and samples. There are multiple demos. Obviously, Google is providing to you. You can download these demos and you can test directly. Okay, so React Native documentation is different, Flutter documentation is different. Okay, both are actually good platforms. Okay, try to understand mobile app development properly. So this diagram is very important to understand each and everything. And one more thing is Ionic. Later we will discuss about Ionic also. I will show Ionic also now. Ionic, sorry, yeah, this one, Ionic framework, the mobile SDK for the web. And here docs are very good. So native docs are there. Ionic framework. Okay, go to the docs here. Go to the guide here. Okay, so introduction to the Ionic. Ionic is an open source UI toolkit building the performant high quality mobile apps using with the web technologies. Okay, I already told you cross platform mobile apps. Cross platform mobile apps also you can able to develop with just HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And there is one modern framework require either Angular, either React, or either Vue. Okay, we will discuss elaborately about this Ionic also later classes. Okay, so these are all the things about the introduction to the mobile app development and all. So I hope everybody got understand what about mobile app development. So if you have any questions and queries, so coming sessions we will discuss about all these things. This is just a demonstration about the complete mobile app architecture. Thank you. Thanks a lot.